guys, how you doing? This is Len Gliwa with TCO Fly Shop. Today we're going to tie a really basic, simple little pattern, the CDC Caddis. It's a super easy and effective pattern. It's a big favorite in the shop, but surprisingly a lot of guys ask a lot of questions about tying it, so I'm going to put together a little video today. We're broadcasting from my room. As you can see, my wonderfully made neat bed in the background, and let's get started. Okay, so here we go. For the materials, really basic and straightforward. Like I said, it's an easy little pattern. So for the hook, we're tying on a TCO 2487. This is a size 12. Normally tie this fly from about a 10 or a 12 down to about a 24. Just super versatile little pattern that you can use pretty much anywhere. You can do it in a variety of colors, styles, and sizes. But this is pretty much the basic format. For the dubbing, we're going to use some East Coast dubbing in yellow tan caddis. I normally use just the yellow tan for the majority of the caddis that I tie, because they're pretty much all tan caddis around here. I also tie these caddis in a little bit darker colors, for granums and things like that. Or I'll tie it in a green for a lot of the green caddis that we encounter throughout the area. For the wing, we're just going to use some TCO Super Select CDC in natural brown. And for the thread, we're going to use Uni-Thread in 8/0 in tan. So here we go. So we're going to start the thread right behind the eye, really just kind of anywhere, and wrap your way back down to a little bit past the barb. Trim your thread. Then we're going to grab our dubbing. Just a little bit will do you, and we're going to dub that onto the thread here. I usually just grab a pretty big bunch out of the bag and kind of work my way down to get a nice, smooth, even dubbing brush. Really is basically what it becomes. Alright, so we'll slide that up, ready to go. So we're just going to start, like I said, and make some tight touching wraps with the dubbing and work our way up the hook. As you can see, it's a nice, really thin little body here, but it's still kind of spiky because that East Coast dubbing has got some guard furs in there. So we're going to kind of taper it up just a little bit right there, kind of brush out any of this excess. And then, now for the CDC. Now you have a couple different options when you're tying with CDC on how you tie it in. My favorite method has become stripping it. A lot of guys tie in by the tips, which is, I think is good, but I find that a lot of times, you're wasting a good bit of material there when you tie in by the tips. So normally, like I said, you can kind of just grab the feathers, as you see here, and kind of just grab the fibers and pull them off. Recently, I've actually started using the Mark Petitjean Magic Tool. Really neat little system for tying with CDC and a number of other materials. And admittedly, in the beginning, I was a little bit skeptical about it. I thought, I don't need some fancy tool. And I tried it once, and I have not looked back. So I would highly recommend looking into that. We have them in all the shops, and certainly something you should look into. So, use the magic tool. If you decide to tie in by the tips, it's very straightforward. Normally it's about 2 or 3 feathers. You would match them up by the tips and just align them like that. So you can kind of see there. Alright, so I got 2 feathers in here, and if I was going to tie them in, grab them by the bases, stroke the fibers up until I get the wing length that I like, and I tie it in like that, about the same, about the length of the hook. Just there, pinch wrap it down, and you'd be ready to go. And then after you did that, you would just clip off your CDC and dub over that. Like I said, not a big fan of that. I prefer stripping it, so using the magic tool, I'm going to strip all of that CDC off of the stem and tie that in like so here. Okay, so I have grabbed my bundle of CDC in my hands. Like I said, when it comes out of the magic tool, it looks a little bit something like that. It's just a bundle of fibers. Then we're going to go like this and cut it flush like so. So I got a nice little, neat little bundle there, and we'll tie that in just like that, just by the tips there, and come back to about there. Just stroke out any excess. Grab a little bit more of our yellow tan East Coast dubbing. Dub just a little bit on there. Now I normally dub this just a tiny bit thicker than the back portion of the fly, kind of give it a little bit of a tapered look and a little bit thicker abdomen. So just dub up over where you had tied your CDC in, like that. Okay. And then we're just going to wet finish right behind the eye. We're done there. Clip the thread. Then we're going to trim our CDC. Just like that. And then what I like to do, a little trick taught to me by Steve Spurgeon of our Bryn Mawr store. He works with me, great guy. Take your nails and I kind of break away those fibers a little bit, and you know, just kind of something that I like to do, that Steve also kind of like to do. It kind of gets away from that cut look of the fly, and kind of, you know, makes it look a little bit more natural silhouette in the water. And there you go. You have a size 14 tan CDC Caddis. Really easy, quick pattern to tie up, super effective. Just use a little bit of you know, our TCO high fly on there, and brush it into the fibers and puff it right up, and you're ready to go. Hope you guys enjoy. Good luck tying, and have fun out there.